Alright, so I managed to pick this up at Best Buy earlier today, and it was the last one that they had in stock. I'm actually quite surprised. They tried to pull a switcheroo on me, probably by accident, but I don't know. They tried to give me an NES Classic for some reason. One thing that I noticed when I picked it up is that there was no plastic keeping this closed. So it looked like it had been opened already. But when I examined the flaps and stuff like that, I didn't see any fingerprints. I didn't see any and the cardboard was resisting me. So I don't think anybody had actually opened it. However, when I look here, there's sticky residue that's missing. I'm gonna turn this to here. There's sticky residue that's on here. But either way, I'm gonna pull out the contents of this and see how this goes. Okay, there's no tape on this, but I don't see any tape residue, which means it didn't come with tape in the first place. And let's see, better angle. These should be, I'm guessing these are the controllers? Yeah, that's one of the controllers. Excellent. This is controller number 2, so there's 2 controllers. Man, those look exactly like Super Nintendo controllers. That's... Hold on a sec. I gotta grab something here. Where are they? Where are they? Are they in here? It's my Nintendo 64. Where are they? There they are. Ooh. 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 Everything's falling on me now. Okay. Let me get this out of here. Okay. Here I come. I'm coming back. And I'm going to give it a comparison between the 2 different controllers. Okay, it is noticeably different. Very noticeable. I don't know if the camera can pick it up or not, but on... No, I don't think the camera will be able to pick that up. The texture of the plastic is completely different on both controllers. Probably because it's a different type of plastic. The molds look extremely identical. The buttons look like those little chiclet candies. And let's see, how stiffness of the buttons. Oh, they're almost identical. That's actually, that is really, really nice actually. Here's the power. Okay. Let's see here, and here's this probably the console itself. that's that's hilarious actually. These actually That's awesome. Now how do you get these open? Ah, okay. That just comes off like that. And you plug them in like that. Oh, that feels this feels so retro. Why does this feel so retro? Like you like you pull this and it's like a transformer. You pull that and you just pull it down. It's like a one of those retro transformer toys. That's crazy. And then the controllers just plug right into there. Okay. Next up, let's remove the tray. Here's USB, the micro USB cable. I'm going to assume that this is the power plug that goes from here to here. Yeah, it is. All right. And it comes with an HDMI cord of its own. And I should really have gotten the camera in a better position for this. As for this is with Linkiss? Linkiss? Linkiss. High speed HDMI. Nothing indicating if it's like just HDMI 1 or 1.4. But they wouldn't need higher than just a regular HDMI cord anyways for that. Next up on the list, I'm going to have to actually give this a shot at some point. Now, the main reason why I picked this up was because it comes with games that I normally wouldn't be able to afford otherwise. Like, for instance, Earthbound right there. Super Mario Super Mario RPG's Legend of Seven Stars. Those games are pretty expensive, and so is Mega Man X right down here. Another good reason why I wanted this was because of Star Fox 2, but it's gonna probably look similar to the regular Star Fox. I'm not too concerned about that. They're all games, and there's so many good games on this. Like Contra 3: The Alien Wars, it's a mixed bag. You gotta love run and gun games in order to like that. That if it's the one I think it is, it's my favorite Contra game. Donkey Kong Country, it's a fun game, but at the same time, I think Donkey Kong Country 2 was my favorite Donkey Kong Country game. Might have been 3. I don't remember which one, but they were all fun. Earthbound, that's the main reason why I wanted to get this. Final Fantasy 3, I already have that on Super Nintendo, but having it on this makes it quite good too. F-Zero, I'm indifferent. F-Zero can be fun, but it's limited. It's very limited of a game. The only F-Zero game that I like is F-Zero GX. Well, actually, no, I like F-Zero as well, but I really, really like F-Zero GX. They need to make a new F-Zero game. Then there's Kirby's Dream Course. I never played the game, but I'm pretty sure it's just a racing game. I think it's a racing game. And I believe that that mode is also seen in Kirby Superstar, but on a lesser scale. I'm not entirely sure though. Then there's Kirby Superstar, which is a magnificent game. By far my favorite Kirby game ever created. Mega Man X, fantastic game. The Mega Man X 1, 2, and 3 are all fantastic games. I wish this had all 3 of them. Secret of Mana, fantastic game. They recently a company remastered or redesigned the 3D 2.5D in 3D models for it, and I've seen some gameplay of it, and it's honestly quite it's annoying. The music is quite kind of bad in it. However, they have the option to switch back to and from the original soundtrack and a new one, which is which is awesome. It has Star Fox. Star Fox has bad graphics essentially, but they're not bad in the sense where you can't look at them type of bad. Like for instance, Super Mario Kart. Super Mario Kart. The way that they had to design that game was I forget the specific design, but it can hurt your eyes after a while watching it. Um, uh, Street Fighter 2 Turbo Hyper Fighting. I have an Xbox 360. If I want to play Street Fighter game, I could just go to that. It's got I have Super Street Fighter Turbo HD, which is looks like it's a different version than Hyper Fighting. They have so many different versions of it. It's crazy. Super Castlevania 4 brings back some good memories. There's a level in that game where you have to hang from specific points as a room rotates. It's kind of the game's hard. It's pretty hard. Super Ghouls and Ghosts. Ghouls and Ghosts is an extremely difficult game for the NES. It was fun. I've only ever played Super Ghouls and Ghosts a few times, and it felt relatively similar. I never got to play it enough to actually beat the game though. Super Mario RPG: Legend of the Seven Stars. What needs to be said about this game? It's you could remove of the seven stars. Super Mario RPG Legend. Yeah. Anyway, it's a great game. My only qualm with it was that it's an RPG game where your max level is 30. That could deter people from wanting to play the game because certain aspects of the game are rather difficult. Like, uh, for instance, if you don't pick the proper level ups, you're gonna have a rough time later on. A very rough time. Uh, Especially against Culex. Culex is a hidden boss in the game that's based off of Final Fantasy 2/4, 2 SNES, 4 overall. And it's a difficult fight. Like, you gotta learn the mechanics of it to get free uses of items by timing. Man, and it's also got a bunch of hidden blocks in it, which you can get free items in as well. And then there's also a casino later on, which is rather somewhat difficult to find. Super Mario World. Who needs to? What needs to be said about that? That game is amazing. It always will be amazing. Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. I mean, that game is equally fun, but for different reasons. Trying to do the challenges to get all the red coins in the game to unlock everything. I've done it on the Super Nintendo, and I will do it again on this. I'm probably gonna stream every game I play on this, but I'm gonna probably have to pick up an Elgato capture card before I do that. My main qualm with streaming it on my original consoles, my original Super Nintendos, was that, well, I don't have a means to actually stream it. Like if I got the old Elgato capture card, I'd be able to stream it, but it, I'd have to get two different capture cards, right? Super Punch Out, or actually Super Metroid, and then Punch Out. Super Metroid, one of the Metro. This game spawned a new term called Metroidvania, and another game in the future, which also helped, is called Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Both of these games are phenomenal games. Overall, I prefer Symphony of the Night, but Super Metroid it's just too good to pass up. Super Punch Out. It's a successor to the Punch Out game for NES, and in this version, there are handicaps placed against you. A lot of the opponents cheat. Just like this one guy with a cane, for instance. Yeah, it can be relatively difficult to handle a lot of the fights. You have to try them over and over and over again and learn them inside and out. I like the game. It since then there was a boxing game on the Nintendo 64 where you could create, I think, a custom boxer and train him in a gym to get his stats up. And then after that, it was Fight Night Champion. Fight Night Champion was the single player story. What is just amazing. And then to boot, it had multiplayer features where you could go against people with the created characters or just limited to the roster that the game currently has. A Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Undeniably one of the best Zelda games ever created. I have played through Wind Waker. I played through Link to the Past. I played through Twilight Princess. I played through what are all the other ones? Like Skyward Sword. As much shit as Skyward Sword gets from people, Skyward Sword was actually pretty good. Although at the same time, I had the boost adapter to the piece that you use to swing around, so it would actually be it was actually extremely responsive at that point. But like I've played Zelda 1, Zelda 2 for NES. I played A Link to the Past for SNES. I played Twilight Princess on PS or on was it GameCube? GameCube. And then I played it on Twilight Princess was on more than just that though. Like one of the consoles it was on it was just bad. It had frame rate issues. It lagged in certain areas. The first time I played Twilight Princess, I was handed the controller from a friend of mine, and he literally, well, actually, I kind of asked him. He was at the 50th floor dungeon. I am like, hey, can I give it a shot? He's like, go for it. You probably won't succeed. Well, I ended up beating it the first time I played the game, and I had half a heart left. Uh, the last floor had, I think, three. What are they called again? Stalfos? Were they Stalfos? Let me quickly check here. No, not Stalfos. Iron. Iron. Iron Knuckle? Uh. I'm gonna search up extra dungeon real quick because Cave of Shadows. Okay. Cave of Shadows floor 50 was 3 Iron Knuckles? Oh, come on. This only goes up to floor 39? There's 50 floors. Come on. Uh, was it called Cave of Shadows? Or was it Cave of Ordeals? Cave of Ordeals, not Cave of Shadows. Okay. Uh, where was it? I don't know. Uh, okay. No, it wasn't Shadows. Wait, why is this? Why is it showing me Cave of Shadows? I don't know. I honestly don't remember. But I'll get back to the point. I played. I've played a ton of Zelda games, and I've beaten them all about 100%. And to be honest, what was the one that you could go as paint? It's pretty much the successor to a, a Link to the Past, A Link Between Worlds, was it? I would honestly rate A Link to Between Worlds uh, slightly less than A Link Between or A Link to the Past. And no, it's not because of nostalgia factor. It's because of the way the game was designed. People would argue, well, both games were designed pretty much identically, and yes, that would be true. But A Link to the Past did it first. A Link Between Worlds adds the painting mechanic, which goes hand in hand with the way that they actually introduced new bosses, main bosses to fight, which is pretty cool and all. I'm not saying that Link Between Worlds is bad. It's a great game. A Link to the Past is also great. Skyward Sword is also great. Like they all have their nooks and crannies that make them amazing to play. Like the first time I played Wind Waker, for instance, I hated the game because of the way that it looked. And the music made it feel so whimsical. It's like, eh. But then people started doing parodies of stuff, and I ended up finding a Link beatbox, barrel beatbox, or something like that on Newgrounds. And it just lightened everything up. It's just like, oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right, and now for the last game. Well, Yoshi's Island. Already came across that. Anyways, that's the contents of the SNES Classic and my rant about Zelda games. If you have any if you happen to watch this for this long, 24 and a half minutes by now, if you have any what's the word? Any and any words that you want to say, um why am I going blank? If you want me to upload any gameplay of any of these games, let me know. I plan on streaming all these games on Twitch. I want to beat every single one of them on Twitch. And possibly upload some videos to YouTube. As for Super Metroid, I'm not a speedrunner. I don't know where everything is in the game, but I do remember where a lot of the stuff was in the game. I hope. Like, I remember main area up left, there's a set of missiles on either side. I remember there's a way to get both sets of them without having to go through there twice, but I don't remember how to do it. Like, I don't speedrun any games. I like to sit there and enjoy them. And if there's people to talk to, I will talk to them. Maybe I'll get into speed running Mega Man X if people want to see that, or speed running Super Punch Out. It'll take a lot of learning. Oh, Kirby Superstar. You know, there's a lot of stuff I could do with this, and I'm really glad I got to pick this up because, and Earthbound. I played this game when I was a kid. I rented it from a store. And then when I brought it back, I wanted to rent it again. But I didn't have the money and I came back a day later or something like that and somebody had stolen it from them and I was just like, I was sad. I was really sad because they were going to sell it. They were going to sell it. They got it stolen and now look at where that the price of that game is now. It's like it's ridiculous. I really wanted a Super Nintendo copy of it. In fact, I want a Super Nintendo copy of almost all of these games, but that's not going to happen. Anyways, uh, thanks for listening to the rant and the watching the unboxing of it. This thing is so small. I like it. It's just a miniaturized version. Man, this is awesome. I love it. I love it. Cheers.